everyone. Good morning to you. I did say I'd be here. I was slightly later because you know what? I needed to boil my kettle and deal with a postman who had an amazing piece of kit for me that I'm going to be using in my business. I've got to lead by example. So I hope you're all well. I thought I'd come on today very briefly to talk to you about budgets. As many of you know, for the last few days, I've been running my 5-day brand and marketing challenge. It's been absolutely amazing. The ladies in the group have got so much value. I will share some of their feedback. I think I shared some yesterday, but it's been phenomenal. Honestly, for those of you that do not know what you're doing in your business when it comes to your brand or marketing, for those of you who don't have clarity on what you're doing when it comes to how you're spending your time and your budget, if you do need support from a coach who's been in the industry for over 24 years, but also working with clients for over 7 years in my own business, then reach out, speak to me. Even if we just have an initial chat, I want to be able to help you, because I know every time I do this challenge, the level that we get to for a lot of business owners makes them realize that actually what they thought was really, really good work that they're doing, and many of you are doing really, really good work, can be tweaked ever so slightly to get you even better results. So let me tell you what I'm talking about today. This is one of the things that I am very passionate about as well. It is on the topic of budgeting, because I know a lot of you struggle with budgeting. And budgeting is something that if you're going to be doing branding and marketing, good afternoon, how you doing, good morning, depending on where you're watching from. Budgeting's key, right? Because at the end of the day, if you haven't got a budget, or if you haven't thought about how you're going to spend your money, or, you know, if you haven't thought about your sales targets so that you can then reinvest the money that you make back into your business, you may find yourself without any money to do really cool things like printing materials, producing books, doing leaflets, doing business cards, creating videos and getting them edited and so on. So I wanted to share with you today some really cool tips on budgeting. I'm going to freestyle because you know I don't really work very well with notes. I like to just share my knowledge and empower you based on what's in my head. And many of you that have worked with me even for the last few days know that there is plenty that goes on in my head, so I'm not short for ideas. If it's the first time you're watching me, or indeed if you do catch me on the live, please let me know you've watched the live so that I know you've seen it. I got a message today from a gentleman who has got a phenomenal cosmetics business, and he said to me, V, these tips, I wish I'd seen them live. He said, I've put my notifications on and I still didn't get them. So what I want to say to any of you is, if you are not currently subscribed on notifications for this page, you are missing out. Because at the end of the day, I go live quite a lot. Religiously, I'll be going live on Wednesdays at midday. And if you want tips, if you want support with building your brand online and also strategically marketing your business offline and online as well, but at the moment it's obviously online because of the pandemic, then definitely reach out to me. There are plenty of things you can do with me, including lots of free stuff, loads of free stuff right now accessible for you on YouTube. So if you do want to find out more about what I do, or you want to know about branding tips or strategy or how to create a marketing plan, that is all there now for you to consume on YouTube. So let me get into it, okay? Budgeting. And do let me know as you're watching where you're watching from. When it comes to creating your budget, I want to just say a few pointers. And the first thing is, if you don't have a budget, I really want you to set one, okay? Set one if you can by the end of next week. Give yourself an idea of what you can spend, all right? This is really, really important, because especially with the climate as it is now, many of us, as one of my clients described yesterday, one of my new clients, are literally pulling on purse strings because we don't have the resources to actually spend willy-nilly on anything. So I'm going to say to you that if you have got, just as feedback, if you've got subscriptions to things, if you're currently paying for services, or maybe you're part of a membership group that's not really serving you, if you know that you've got subscriptions to Shopify or Amazon store, or maybe you are paying for Netflix and you're not really watching Netflix, or maybe you are watching it but you've recognized that actually that, you know, £15 or £9 that you've been spending could be put somewhere else to benefit you in your business. What you want to do is make a list, all right, of your incomings and your outgoings, specifically business related, because I'm not a financial advisor when it comes to you managing your personal life. But I can say to you from my experience, good afternoon, how you doing? I can say to you from my personal experience that when I built my business, I really did struggle because I started on £100. But not only that, I didn't feel comfortable with drawing my nails, stop paying for weaves and all these nice things that I used to invest lots of money in. And instead I ignored opportunities that came my way because I didn't make a budget. Okay, you getting this? I didn't make a budget for my own marketing. And that was something that I'd been doing for companies 16 plus years before actually starting my own business. All right. And now I'm in my business, 7+ years as of January. And one of the things I know is that through working with clients, through working with people, even on a 15-minute call, a lot of you don't have your budgets together, right? Good morning. Let me know how you're feeling. I hope you're well. A lot of you don't have your budgets together. So just let me know in the comments box, do you have right now a marketing budget? Let me know. Do you have a marketing budget right now? And if you do, and you're comfortable to say what it is, please do say what it is. I'm not going to keep you too long this morning. Let me know if you've got a budget for your marketing at the moment. All right. Let me know if you've got a budget for your marketing right now. Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing? I don't know if I've pronounced this right. Bekejwe? Let me know if I've pronounced that right. I know you are in the business of hospitality and catering. I know you do phenomenal work because I've seen your page. So good morning to you. Thanks for stopping by. Good morning, Michael. How you doing? So I'm talking about just a few pointers around budgets. And I did just mention, if you're just joining, and if you are, welcome and good morning. If you have not got a marketing budget, it's very important you get a marketing budget. I've given my example of starting my business on just £100, the journey I had, the fact that I didn't want to actually... I mentioned you just a minute ago, Michael. I didn't mention your name though, but seeing as you've outed yourself, that's fine. Good morning, you've caught me. So yes, in terms of your budget, what you want to be doing really is looking at what you might need to spend, particularly now, because a lot of us are going to be stringent when it comes to how much we're spending online and offline. So a lot of us will often rush to spend money on business cards and a website, and we want to get our brochures done. And let me just give you 2 quick pointers. I don't know how many of you actually use brochures or business cards, but let me just show you one very quick thing and I produce all of my branding and marketing materials. I don't use my in-house designer, but I do produce all of my stuff. First thing I want to show you is this. I have a business card. Now, I have strategically decided how to give out my business cards, and some of you might think I'm being a bit snobbish when I say this, but I produce lots of materials, right? Here's one, my leaflet, okay? Very bold statement there. On the back, side 2, never waste the side 2. So if you've got a small budget and you're going to print something, always include your side 2. All right, nice leaflet there. I've also got my planner. Many of you know that I've self-published this, so every penny that I get for this goes to me, which is why I'm able to charge you so little for it, £19. And thank you to those of you that have been ordering. My business card is what I want to show you, because even if you don't have a print budget, you can do these electronically. And if you don't know how to do them electronically, then you need to join my Facebook group, because I'm going to be sharing lots of juicy tips to help you if you're on a budget. This is my business card, okay? Now I'm going to cover off my mobile number. In fact, I won't bother to cover off my mobile number, because if you call me and we haven't got a booked appointment, I won't answer. That's how I operate my business. So I work by appointment for calls, just to put that little caveat in. This is my business card. And on side 2, this is like my 4th or 5th edition. I've been 7 years in my business. I am promoting my planner. Okay, so on side 2, it's got the link there. So when I go out and about, when I do hand out my business card at expos and exhibitions, when I'm paid to speak on stage and people say to me, can I get your details? If it's a viable opportunity or it's an audience that I really have enjoyed, I'll give my business card out strategically to people that I genuinely feel are serious about their business. Because one of the things you might not have caught about me is that I only want to work with people who are serious about their business, people that are ready to take action, people that are committed to seeing results, and people that are coachable. All right. So what I do is I strategically give out these business cards. If you just caught that tip, just put the word business card for me into the comments box. Business card. So if you're printing your business cards, one of the ways you can reduce your budget is by doing electronic business cards. And in fact, by redirecting people to your LinkedIn page or a web page that you've got is a really great way to still capture their information and still manage and nurture a relationship online. So if you're offline and you're doing events, or you're offline expos and you don't have business cards, remember, you can do simple things like lead pages or business cards, or having information that's on a computer or desktop or tablet that people can engage with, rather than you needing to give them a physical, tangible item. So I strategically give these out. Yeah. I've also got magnetic business cards that I give out for the more high-end events. When you are asked to speak at an event and it's like really, really top notch. Right. I have magnetic business cards that I use that I will give out to people, again, strategically, because a lot of us give out business cards printed, and it's not necessarily always good use of our time or money. All right, because you pay for those business cards unless someone gives them to you free. So that's a cost. That's a budget that you could actually strip right back. And I'm going to also go on to the point of brochures as well. A lot of you print brochures with time information on it, price information on it. web page information on it, which then goes out of date, or the link is broken after a few years or a few months. That is a waste of your budget. Okay. Good afternoon, Lorna. Good morning. Don't know where you're watching from today. So if you are currently printing a lot, basically what I'm saying, brochure, leaflet, poster, business card, even a banner. And I'm going to talk to you about banners in a minute, right? I'm free flowing here. Can you tell? With the brochure, there are platforms like issue.com. Can someone please put this in the comments for me? ISSW.com. Okay. ISSW.com. And that is a portal where you can actually house quite a lot of literature and PDFs, hidden or public, downloadable, free and paid, all right, interactive links and all that good stuff for free. Okay, now if you want to do it where people are paying you, they have got pro versions and the upgraded versions. But what I want to say to you today is a lot of you are spending money reprinting, redesigning, updating your summer, winter, autumn, spring brochure. Every time you bring a new range out, you print something out. If you don't have a budget, okay, one of the things you want to be looking at doing is working smarter. So an electronic brochure will give you much further reach. A downloadable piece of information is going to give you much further reach. Plus, if any of you are picking up what I'm putting down, if you are using lead pages, okay, so a way for you to capture information in exchange for something, right? So, yeah, my nails still aren't done. I really do feel really embarrassed about this now, but I've been told by the people I'm coaching this week that I should be excused because of the good content I'm putting down. So if you have an exchange of information, that might be that you've got a lead page that you set up. Many of you may know what this is. It's an online page where someone will say to you, hey, send me your email and I'll join you into this webinar, or send me your SMS text and I'll let you know when I'm next going live, or send me your email or your address and I'll send you some swipe files. That is basically an opportunity for them to take your information in exchange for something else. Okay, so if you've got a brochure or a PDF or some useful tips or a booklet that you often give out that often has information in it that changes, I'm going to encourage you today to look at the issue platform, ISSW.com. Okay, I've got to take a swig of my coffee because as you can tell, I'm on one. Good morning, Lola. How you doing? Good morning, Birmingham in the house. How you doing? Let me know where you beautiful people are watching from. Today, I'm just briefly talking about budgets. So far, I've covered off business cards. I've given you a really cool tip there. Always use double-sided as well on your leaflets. I think I mentioned that. Think about the size of the leaflet. Some of you are printing really big leaflets that look like posters, which again is a bigger cost to your business. But if you actually downsize them to an A6, which is small, or an A5, or an A4, and by the way, as I tell you those sizes, A4 is like, this is a bit crumpled, don't worry about this, but A4 is like this size, okay? And if you half that, that's an A5. And if you half that, that's an A6, right? And if you're going to an event, let me just say, for any of you that are regularly at events and expos, you don't want to be giving people A4 leaflets, yeah? So think about size, think about format, think about double side, think about time and price and information that might be sensitive, which regularly needs changing, that actually you don't want to put on a flyer because it may mean that you've got to reprint or you've got to overwrite stuff, which doesn't really look too slick. Okay, I want to talk about my final point, and if any of you have got questions on what I'm talking about, let me know, and then I'm going to give you some budgeting tips. With regards to your printed stuff, a lot of you produce banners. Okay, a lot of you produce long-standing banners. And by the way, Insight2Marketing produce some really stonking banners from as little as £35. Okay, and if you want to see the evidence in the portfolio, I'm happy to share it with you. My own banner, we designed in-house as well. So some pointers on banners. If you want, and I'll mix in some design tips as well, if you actually want to make best use of your budget, do not put information on your banner which could actually become out of date. Also, make sure that you have got information with regards to social media platforms that you are active on. So if you know you're not on Twitter, don't use up half of the first, section of that banner, putting all your Twitter details along with a massive paragraph that nobody's going to stop to read at your stand. Okay, what you want to do is think about how you can actually have, thank you Lorna for the exact dimensions, I did show them via the visual, but there you have it. Lorna's on with us and she is also into graphics, so you can check out some of the things she does on Garden of Delights. With regards to when you're out and about, think about this. If you see a banner, you're at a stand, you've got your own stand, people are walking. Usually if we're at a good event, there's decent footfall. Okay, so when people are walking past your banner, you've got to think about height, head, top, foot. If there are lots of people around your banner watching you do a demo and there are other people walking past them trying to see your banner and everyone's standing in front of your banner, You've got to think about where the information is on your banner. So before you go and print a banner with 3 paragraphs of text telling people all about your services in a really small size font that nobody can see, before you go away and think about producing a banner where your call to action is at the bottom, where everybody's feet are, by the way, where no one can actually see it, before you go away and think about producing a banner where at the top you've got lots of information but it's really small, what I want you to do is think about your budget. Do you actually have budget to produce a banner that is not going to serve you in the long run? Because if you don't, you need to request via email to me and I'll send you some design tips. All right? I will send you some design tips. Okay? For me, it's mega important that more of us are clear on what we're doing. And I think what is becoming apparent to me is that so many of you have got phenomenal businesses, but you're not clear on what you're doing. Okay, you're not clear on the marketing, you're not clear on the branding, the strategy isn't necessarily there, and there's still hope for you, because actually a lot of you have given up because you feel as if that you can't sell your products. But then that's because largely you haven't got your branding in order, you don't really know what you stand for, you're not necessarily targeting the right people, and so that's why you become stuck. Yeah, how many of you are on social media now regularly looking at your insights to make informed decisions? How many of you are more consumed by your likes and comments than you are actually engaging with the people that are on your page right now that might be needing your services or could benefit from support from you? How many of you are actually aware of what's going on in your business when it comes to your branding or marketing? That's a key question I'm going to ask you today. Let me just quickly, before I dive into my tips on budgeting, and if any of you have got questions, let me know. I want to quickly give you 2 or 3 special dates that are coming up in April that you may not be aware of. And of course, if you want to add to those dates, you can. So you have a special date section in the book, in my planner. I'll also tell you that in each section of the planner, on the monthly and the weekly section, there are quotes, there is information on budgeting, there is information on how to build your brand, how to organize your marketing, how to get smarter on your social media, and it's all in here. Over 220 pages of content and campaign ideas for you to go through. Let me just tell you about April. Okay, we've got... by the end of April, I've got to tell you about May. Look, no one told me off about that. Okay, so what have we got left? Well, the London Marathon should have been happening this weekend, but it's happening in October. But if any of you want to do a theme around health or wellness or the importance of running, even if you're not doing the marathon, or preparation for the marathon in October, etc., you can piggyback a campaign off that. You've got International Dance Day, which is the 29th. I should have said May, so let me jump to May very quickly. So you've got a nice doodle page for May. Any questions for me on budgeting whilst I'm actually sharing? Insight as in information, if that's what you're asking me. Insight as in information, actually giving you an indication of what you need to be doing, educating and informing. That's where the insight2marketing comes from. Let me know if that made sense, Michael. All right, so in May, we've got Sun Awareness Week. We've got Food Allergy Awareness Week. We've got... what's a good one? We've got 2 bank holidays, which are really good opportunities for you. And we've also got International Nurses Day, which might be good for any of you that are working in the NHS, working in healthcare sector. There are lots of other things as well. World Fair Trade Day and so on. So there are lots of cool days coming up. And I've also got more within my paid membership group that obviously my members get to see as well. But let me just share with you the final tips in terms of budgeting. First of all, do your incomings and outgoings. For your personal self or for your business. Understand what you can afford to strip out. That's something I had to do when I started my business on just £100. The second thing is, I want you to think about what can you really afford not to do? Like, let me be honest with you. If you know your brand needs work and you're waiting for something amazing to happen and you're being very reactive, expecting something to happen, and you're hoping and you're wishing and you don't necessarily have a plan. Good morning, Natasha, how you doing? Then I'm going to say on that basis, if you are someone who's wishing and hoping and, you know, really praying that something's going to change, that could be an indication that you need to invest some money. You cannot afford not to invest in your brand. And I'm not saying you need to be sat here all polished and made up every day. I'm not saying you need to pay for a new bookshelf and put loads of books on it. I'm not saying that you need to go out and buy a new wardrobe, because at the end of the day, we all show up, or we should all be showing up how you want to show up. Okay? That's on your terms, how you are comfortable. So no guru or expert should be telling you the best way to show up. At the end of the day, if you've got people telling you that, you need to kind of give them the sign, because at the end of the day, for you to show up confidently, you need to feel comfortable as you are, okay? And whether that's polished and groomed or a bit rough around the edges or with your hair in a ponytail and sweat dripping right in your face whilst you're on a treadmill, doing a live, that's up to you. And believe me, there are lots of very, very established brands that show up very unpolished, and that's just their way. So it's entirely up to you how you want to run your brand. But I'm going to say, if you know that you need to invest in your brand, then you cannot afford not to at this time. So look at some of the things you can do. Hi, how you doing? How you doing? Caroline, how you doing? Vitesia Cosmetics, how you doing? So I'm just talking about budgeting and wrapping up. So think about what you can spend. What can you afford to spend? What can you strip back on? Think about what your priorities are. What can you afford not to do? So investing in your brand, looking at your color palette, creating a logo. What else might you do? Electronic business cards. Having a brochure that you can send online, all really useful stuff. Give me number 3 if you're getting some tips from me today. Put a number 3 in the comments box for me, please. I'm just going to swig on my coffee again. Also, in terms of your budget, what I want you to think about is, what can you afford not to do when it comes to your marketing? So can you afford to keep showing up every day, not getting any results, not getting any leads? Can you afford to keep doing lots of videos and not getting any inquiries, not getting any sales? Can you afford to be printing materials and going out to lots of free networking events, even if they're online? Can you afford to spend that time, doing that, if in your business you're not making any money? And don't get me started on social media, because a lot of us are on social media posting every day, scrolling up and down the news feed, being very active in groups, and we're not seeing results, but we're repetitively doing that. And that doesn't make much sense to me. So in terms of your budget, get clear. I mean, having a session with a consultant or speaking to someone who knows their stuff, even for 15 minutes, could get you very clear on what you need to be doing in your marketing. And yesterday I had a call with someone who was referred to me, because I get a lot of referrals, by a colleague of theirs. She said, V, so-and-so said I need to call you, and I know we haven't got much time, but I said, listen, don't worry, what do you want to achieve in this 15-minute session? She told me, and by the end of the session, she had new ideas to monetize her brand. She had new ways of working in her brand to target a completely different audience that she'd never thought of, and she messaged me to say she'd written me a testimonial, so I've got to go and find that after this live. And I do thank her publicly, because I don't know what it's going to say, but I know that on that call, in the space of 15 minutes, she got crystal clear on what it is she can do between now and maybe the end of October in terms of working out what she can do when it comes to campaign planning. You see, I know, and if any of you have ever worked with me, you will know that I am full of ideas. I am strategic. I know my stuff. I've been in the industry for 24 plus years, and I don't share any tips on things that I haven't personally done myself. So I will only share tips on things that I know will work for you based on your budget that you might have, because I know what it's like to be told by a guru that you need to be going to spend big money to do something in your business that you can't afford to do at this time. But let me just share something with you. If you don't have much money, you still need to prioritize. So for example, if you've got a skincare line, or if you've got a clothing line that you're launching, and you know that as a priority, you want to protect your brand, you do need to make sure your copyright and your trademarks and everything else is sorted out. You do need to make sure that you've got all your assets protected, okay? Because you don't want anyone to copy your idea or replicate it, particularly if you're someone who's going out there and not doing the non-disclosure agreements, right? And if you want more information on copywriting and trademarks, click on the link in my bio now, because there's actually a newsletter with information on that. But for some of you, you won't need a budget for that right now. It's too early. It's too early in your journey. Some of you are just kind of testing out new ideas. So therefore, I would say to you, don't spend a budget spending, £100, £400, or however much your particular company is going to charge you to get trademark right now, because each of us are on different journeys. So you need to make sure you're getting the right advice, okay? Don't jump the gun too soon. Map out what your priorities are. This is my final point I'm going to wrap up with. Map out what your priorities are, okay? Get clear on what your priorities are, because some of you don't need websites, but you're spending time planning and creating a website when you've clearly got other resources that other people can buy from you from. You've got a Shopify store, you've got an Instagram store, so make your Instagram page shoppable, okay? Some of you have got no website, but you're building a website, and you've already got a LinkedIn page that you could be using as a LinkedIn page that you direct people to on a company page, but you're wasting £900+ doing a website because a guru's told you need one. Like, think smart, yeah? If you want to know about effectively managing your budget, speak to me, because I've worked with charities that have zero budget. I've had to fundraise and crowdfund for campaigns, that have costed thousands and millions and get celebrity buy and do PR, the whole shebang. All right, so make sure you're getting advice from the right people on the things that you need to achieve. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself into a bit of hot water, right? Look at what you need to do and prioritize, okay? Let me know via the comments. Hey, Asa, how you doing? Let me know via the comments what has stuck out for you today and what I've said. Please let me know via the comments so I know I'm delivering some value to those of you that are online. Let me know via the comments what has stuck out for you like a sore thumb in terms of what I've just shared with you. Please do let me know via the comments. And I'm going to say to you that if any of you do want information on trademarking, on copywriting, what it means for your business, budgeting, first of all, there are 2 budgeting videos on YouTube right now you can go and check out. Free. Tips from me. Free. Yeah? And secondly, if you do want the help, book in a consultation with me. If you need more than 15 minutes and you know you need more than 15 minutes, pay for a consultation with me. Because I can tell you now, there are over 380 testimonials online from real people that have said that I deliver results, that have said I've transformed their business, that I've helped them to grow their business. In fact, there's 2 posts I've put this week that is evidence of that. Real people, real results. This is what I'm about, okay? So someone said, finding other ways to be online. Okay, brilliant. Hi, Sabrina, how you doing? Anyone else want to share? I'm going to wrap up now, but I hope that you've all had a phenomenal morning so far. Michael said he's picked up from what I've said today. What can he afford not to do? What can he afford not to do in marketing? Yeah, very, very important. And I'm looking forward to speaking with you. Very, very important that you get clear on what you can't afford to do. Because a lot of us think about what we can afford to do and then we start talking ourselves out of stuff. And actually in my business, I did that for 18 months. I said I couldn't afford a coach. I said I couldn't afford a book. I couldn't afford a course. And that 18 months was wasted doing foolishness. Foolishness. Yeah? Okay, using LinkedIn as your website. Yes, or Milkshake. Milkshake app, right? Don't say I don't give you good value for tips. Milkshake app. Google that. How you doing, Alexia? How you doing? Is it Alexia? Alexia? Remind me. I don't know. I can't remember. Can't remember all the names. So I'm going to wrap up now. So people are just dropping in some of the tips there, making more use of LinkedIn. I should also mention, I've got a LinkedIn masterclass in May. For any of you that don't know how to use LinkedIn, it's just £19. You can join me. I will show you the step-by-step. I've been running that course since 2013. You've got to do your checks, get the reviews that I've got from people that have done that. You'll know what I'm about. And I've got lots of... It's Alexia. Yes, darling. I've forgotten. I know you spelled it in a lovely way. That's why. So forgive me. Am I forgiven? Let me know. Yes. All right. So a lot of you said the point about LinkedIn, which is good. Yeah. You can customize your link as well. So there's lots of good stuff you can do. So hopefully I've given you lots of value today. I'm going to go and swig some more coffee. Today I'm doing absolutely nothing until 8 o'clock because it's the last day of my 5-day branding and marketing challenge. And I have thoroughly enjoyed working with the ladies in the group. All right. So you've let me off. Thank you very much. All right. Ladies, gents, I'll speak to you soon. Have a great one. Take care. Bye.